All right, good morning. Thank you all for coming. I'm John Ferretti. I'm the supervisor of the town of Hempstead, America's largest township, representing over 800,000 residents. Today, I'm standing alongside colleagues in the New York State Senate and Assembly to denounce another power grab by Governor Hochul and Albany extremists. We're here today to pull the plug on the Revive Act. This legislation was recently introduced, sponsored by State Senator James Skoufis and Assemblywoman Mikhail Szilagyi, that would allow New York State to override local zoning laws to convert underutilized properties into high-density housing. This high-density housing, which will permit up to 20 units per acre, will be put through a fast-track approval process that bypasses local hearings and community input. Worse yet, if local municipalities do not act to approve these developments on the expedited timeline, once the clock runs out, these developments automatically get approved. That's right. Whether we like it or not, the prospect of high-density developments in suburban communities are being forced on us again by Governor Hochul and her extreme allies in Albany. In this legislation, the definition of underutilized is extremely broad and would include commercial properties like shopping centers, office parks, parking lots, and even more. The bill is known as the Revive Act, and it strips local communities of their fundamental right to control local zoning and development decisions.
We have seen this time and time again, whether it's been budget proposals for high-density housing, other housing plans. We just keep seeing new proposals that have one common theme, and that is an attempt to force feed an agenda onto everyday New Yorkers by circumventing our local laws, our local protocols, and our local voices. I think it's also important to keep in mind the growing hostility toward private property rights happening right down the road from us on Long Island, New York City. We've heard Mayor Mandami and one of his top housing officials express that seizing private property is the solution to our housing problems. So the Revive Act is bad enough, but with socialism right in our backyard and little resistance from Albany Democrats, we shouldn't be taking one step down the road of bypassing local authority and local input.
My colleagues on the other side of the aisle keep saying New York has a housing crisis, and once again, the answer coming from Albany is always to override local judgment and impose one more top-down mandate on towns and villages that already understand their infrastructure far better than the people writing these bills. Assembly Bill 10632, the so-called Revive Act, says that if a commercial property is 50% vacant for 1 year, under Section 531, Albany can effectively force the path towards residential conversion. Yeah, that's 1 year. A shopping center loses an anchor tenant. An office building has leases expire. A landlord is refinancing. Renovations are underway. A tenant is being negotiated with. In the real world, 1 year vacancy happens all the time. But under this bill, one difficult year can suddenly become the trigger for permanently changing the future of that property.
As a former elected official in the village of Malvern, I was very proud to be part of developing housing in a responsible manner that was palatable to my community, whether it was approving the color of a house, the height of a building, or where a building went. We were involved in every detail. So I encourage everyone listening to please reach out to their legislator and let them know that this bill goes against local control. It goes against electing local officials who decide what our communities look like, the characters of our building, how densely populated they become. Without local control, things will become very chaotic, and there won't be the character that we all enjoy.
In the town of Hempstead, we believe in something very simple. We believe in local control, not Hochul control. We are a suburban community. We love our way of life. We love New York City, but we don't want to live there. And we will fight every single step of the way to make sure that the town of Hempstead and all suburbs in New York State remain suburbs and not the sixth borough of New York City. The Revive Act is DOA, dead on arrival.